Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to run through 5 games and just analyze the games and just talk about some of the wins I did. Also, the last game is an example of the fried liver attack I was able to manage to do. And yeah, without further ado, we'll get into the first game. Okay, so first game is he does the king pawn opening. And then he actually does the queen's gambit. So this isn't going to be one we're going to look at in the future. So he does the, what is it, the extended variation. He puts the pin on our knight. Always remove the pin. Well, that's weird how he done that, because this pawn was very powerful. It was controlling these squares, defending here, defended here. So he had quite a strong center, so taking the pawn was probably a mistake. So then it helps me develop as well, my piece. So now he's attacking here, and he's attacking here. Defending, attacking the queen as well. Retreat. Wait a sec, not sure. Why did I retreat? I probably expected the extension there just to develop there. So we probably wanted to get away with that. I'm attacking the pawn, which keeps the knight bound. And also got to be mindful of this bishop coming down at any time as well. So this bishop probably a good square here. So there you go. So I defended the square. That's a nice castle. Got to be careful because this is what they call X-ray attack. So something that's not... It's also a pin as well, but you're also attacking the queen. So we're getting rid of the pin. Putting pressure on the knight. Now he's moving. Now he weakens this square as well. Not sure if I actually see it in this game. This one's weakened as well. We got 2 attackers here. So if I attack the pawn here, then I'd be threatening the queen and also double attack here. So I could win material doing this, but I had other ideas. So then, yeah, I took the pawn. So I might have not seen this. He saw take the pawn. So now I'm developing with momentum, so getting a tempo. So usually if you ever develop, you want to attack your opponent's pieces as well. So then they have to withdraw their pieces, and then we get our pieces out in the center. So he's still underdeveloped as well. We still haven't castled at this stage, but we've really got a decent center here building up. So now he's going to put pressure on. So I'm very weak queen side, so I've got to be very careful. So I'm happy to exchange at this stage. And that was a weird, yeah, that was weird. I didn't want to exchange the bishop, I guess, at that stage. That was a weird take. I would have thought I would have taken there. It's been a little bit since I played this game. And he took the rook, so strange. Alright, I maybe shouldn't have let that happen. I should, but I was on the check. Wait. Yeah, I couldn't have avoided that. I was in check, so takes that. So I've still got a nice rook anyway. So if you have a look at this, he did take material, and now he's actually up. He got a rook, but I was very weak queen side. But if you have a look now, I'm very strong queen side. I've got a rook on this side. I've got a very active knight. I've got a very active queen. Sometimes you just got to be careful not to take pieces or gain like points just for the sake of it. You've got to be very careful. So he's lost whatever momentum he had on the queen side. Now we can push these guys away. He got me in check. Now we're going to defend. He's attacking my queen. So we got him in check. So if he takes here, we can take here. We can even take here. So he runs away. We get him in check again. At this stage, I was thinking about the smothered mate, trying to get the queen in there for the smothered mate, but it probably wasn't on. Now, you're really utilising the knight, so the knight's very strong in this situation. Not sure why he's moving his pawn. He should have really moved his knight into the action, or he should have actually... Wait, we'll go back. So he should have pushed his pawn forward, get his knight out, really link up his rooks. You link up the rooks, then you're in a better position. So linking up the rooks would have really strengthened his position, and getting his knight into play. His queen's really closed off here, not really doing anything as well. So it was very active earlier, and now he's blocked off and isolated on the side. So that pawn move was pretty bad. So I guess he was thinking about maybe getting his piece here, maybe defending that square. But we've got this move anyway with the knight. And this was not the best move. So have a look. Can you see what the best move is? Alright guys, the best move was this. That would have been check and then mate, so taking the rook. So the rook would have blocked. But I didn't see it at the time. I was too busy being greedy at the material. Now he gets to defend the back row. So I was pretty upset at that stage. But I had so much of an advantage, I didn't let it bother me. And then, again, I missed it. So, for instance, can you see what the best move is in this stage? So if you move here, check. The queen has to take, and then it's check, and it's checkmate again. So then I put pressure on the bishop, and then I saw it, finally saw it, and it's game over. So we'll go into the next one. That was a good first game. And then doing the king's opening again. He's doing the Caro-Kann defense. I've just taken clear center of strength of the, like just taking over the center. Taking over the important squares anyway. Development gets a check in. Not really sure why I did a check then, because I can just block here or I can block here anyway. We particularly don't want to do c3. We don't want to do f3 at this stage either. So say if the knight was still back here, the reason why you don't want to do c3 or f3 is because you don't want to block your knight. So as soon as you start restricting your pieces, you start losing control of the board, and you don't want to restrict your pieces. You want to get them out in the open and control more squares. So blocking your pieces, it doesn't do that. Alright, so we're defending this square, but not really, because why aren't we protecting this square? It's because this one's pinned. Okay, so this is a threat. So I defend, I see it. And hopefully I move here, I'm not sure if I do. So when you're trying to go up the ranks, first off they do a lot of blunders, like just blundering pieces and just losing minor material for nothing. But as you move up a little bit more, they start doing pawn errors. So they start weakening their structures just with their pawns. So castle. I'll take the pawn. We exchange pieces now. So having the queen out early is really bad. So really, normally in the Caro-Kann, what you do is you put your queen here. So what I talked about early in one opening, in the episode of the bunch of openings, the Caro-Kann generally goes here, so it can hit the pawn. So every time this bishop leaves, you can take. Okay, so really the queen is out as well, and this is something you don't do, because if you take the queen out, you generally have to move it around everywhere, and all these pieces here are paying the price for the queen moving around everywhere. So just always bear in mind that you always waste moves. And then he also blundered his queen just then. And he's got no pieces, I've got the center. And this is the reason why we control the center. So I get my rook into play again. Move it up forward, trying to control all squares again. Exchange, exchange. Just try and open up the squares. So once you control the center, you want to start pushing the pawns or even opening up the center with your pawns. And when you don't have control of the center, the last thing you want to do is open up the board. So when you open up the board, you open up the board so your opponent can attack you, and that's not what you want to do. That's counterplay. So we retreat. So at this stage there's a big threat. Black is threatening. Can you see what the threat is? So if I just take here, we don't do that, because what happens is he takes that and it's the back rank checkmate. So we've got to be very careful, okay? So we don't take that. So we just take the pure dominance, because we've just controlling with the bishops. We're just controlling so much with the bishops. So we ignore that threat. We've got so much of the board here that we don't have to really worry. And there's that move, and then there you go, checkmate. So it controls the board. Ooh, not like that, yep. And yeah. Okay, to the next game. So my queen's opening this time, and this is a queen's gambit, and this is a queen's gambit decline. So the gambit accepted is when you take it, decline is when you don't take it. And this is the line I've been testing lately. It's just not taking the extra pawn, because normally it's when you take, it's usually a mistake, because you can never hold on to this pawn generally, and you can spend the whole game trying to defend that pawn, and they'll just end up taking it, and they'll have more of an advantage on you, because when they attack this pawn that's here, they will develop their pieces as well. So then you'll lose control of the center, and then they'll start attacking you as well. So defending, so I like to defend. I do this line quite often, and we're also defending here. So this is something I've been doing a lot lately, the last couple of days, because in the past I was actually taking that piece, and then I was really struggling. Just simple develop moves now. We are now attacking there, we're attacking there, we're attacking here. It's getting quite complex, and also defending here as well. So at this stage I wanted to go to this square and pin the queen and the bishop. So if they saw that, they can take there. So, but now we've got a nice fork here as well. So it's just a nice center control. Just trying to get our knights into the game. They're really powerful. So he runs away. We take the bishop as a free piece. There was nothing defending it. So that's what you have to be always keeping an eye of, because what your opponents do as well, and what we can do, or what we try not to do, is blunder our pieces and leave them hanging. So don't leave your pieces hanging, and that won't happen to you. Okay? Easier said than done. Alright, now he's attacking our knight, and then we just take some more pawns. Then that's attacking, and that's attacking, so we can take that piece if we want to. But we take the bishop, take away his active pieces that are on the board, and then he gets me in check. We can take. He probably should have just taken the bishop. Not sure why he did that. Probably taking would have been a lot better with the king. And then he attacks the knight, but it's already defended, so that's already another one. So what he should be doing is getting your knight out, hooking up the rooks. Yeah, just hooking up the rooks. And even this piece is open as well, so it's undefended. So now I'm attacking the rook. I'm surprised. I should have taken the rook, maybe. No, I shouldn't have taken the rook, because at this stage, controlling the board, getting the retreat squares for the king is probably the best thing to do. So we've got the king under the rat, so we don't even have to take at this stage. So defending, that's what you call a block. So as you go up the ranks a little bit more, blocking is quite an advanced concept. It's a nice little square. Got a fork there with the bishop. And that was checkmate actually, because all the squares are taken. Alright, now the next game. So we open up with a queen again. And a Queen's Gambit again. So this is pretty good. So we're getting to see a lot of the Queen's Gambit defending again. I told you I'd do this line a bit, so I've had good success with it. It's a bit different now that I've actually tied up the knights this time. Last time I moved the bishops, so this is a different line again. I'm not sure why. So if you go back a bit, if you have a look, moving that piece there is a waste of a tempo as well. So probably getting the knight out. I guess he wanted to unblock the bishop, but at this stage, this pawn is blocking the bishop as well. So probably getting a knight out was more important. Or even opening this up and trying to be in shadow your bishop. So that's also a term as well. Be in shadow. That's when you put your bishops on these squares. Okay, so advance. This is getting pretty complex again. Seems to happen with the Queen's Gambit, even King's Gambit. Earlier today, I got destroyed from the King's Gambit, so I have to prepare to work out what I did wrong with those lines. So if you want to play a crazy line, the King's Gambit's definitely a game that can throw your opponent off guard. So if you have a look now, his pieces are starting to get inactive, so he's trading his active pieces. So you've got quite a decent center, like building up here, controlling these squares, and it's quite a neutral spot. So he's got a pin as well. So yeah, so he's built that pawn there. He shouldn't have done. Now he started to take when he should have just started to develop some moves. So you can get a bit nervous. We take, so you don't take your active piece out of the game. And now his queen's out in the middle and his pieces on the back row. He's still got his knight, but if I was to guess, he's probably going to trade his knight. And that's his other active piece. He's allergic to being active. See? So he's just doing everything wrong. But now, all our pieces are inactive now too. So, but we do have control of the center with the one pawn. So it's quite a funny game actually. So he attacks the pawn, my only pawn. I defend the pawn. So defending and advancing is pretty good as well. So you want to attack and advance and at the same time, and trying to get a momentum as well. So if we go back here, so I castled, but he took the pawn. So it's interesting. I probably should have defended. Oh no, I couldn't have defended because I just. But if I could have defended that way, that would have been a lot better. So then it would have stopped the attack. He must have forgotten about the bishop, so I'm not sure why I did that. So now we've got all our pieces are active again, and he's just sitting there doing nothing. So it's very important that we actually keep our pieces active. So if you're going to get anything out of this video today, do not trade your active pieces, because you just lose the center. And that's what he kept doing the whole game. This particular game, every piece he gets out there active, he just loses it and trades it off. It doesn't make sense. So this is why he lost this game. And then he would have, that's check. He could have, it's checkmate because of the bishop there as well. So Yeah, and also if you want to write in the comments and work out what do they call the checkmate with the two bishops. So if you can name the two bishops checkmate, please mark it down in the comments, please. Alright, this is the final game. This is the one where I actually did the fried liver attack. So it was quite funny. I did a video last night, and I actually realised the first example I did, I actually blundered my knight at the start. So the first example lost a lot of people, but the other examples were actually really good. So I might have to get rid of that first lot. So this is to prove that I do know the fried liver attack, even though some people might have doubted, but that's fine. They can doubt. So the two knights defense again. This is perfect for the fried liver. So once I did this move, our opponent took a long time to think, because he started thinking, he thought that there was a trap on the hand. So as soon as I do this, he was like, don't know what's going on here. I could tell he wasn't sure about it, because he just kept making they feel like natural moves when you're playing in this game with the trap. So it's easy to fall for the trap once you've got it in motion. So he takes. He took quite a while. So taking there. Do you remember the move? The move is the knight. So knight takes, and this was interesting. I didn't actually expect this. This is what was one of the examples last night. So he's actually attacking the knight. So, but in doing so, we can just take the queen. So we just take the queen, and it was in that move he resigned. So there you have it, guys. There's a couple games for you, and yeah, the fried liver attack as well, with a different scenario. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.